It was a feeling that I have through all the movie that I also, without spoiler, but also your character in a certain way feel a guilt, you know, I feel guilty in a certain way because I like that at the end of the story, there is the fact that people want to move on and they don't care too much about the truth. So
Hmm.
thinking about this aspect and considering your characters, I had that feeling through all the movie that he in a certain way is guilty. Did you face him in the same way? Did you relate to him in the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a cynic, and he feels like so disgusted by the way that the police department has run the investigation that initially he's just determined to kind of go it alone and then with her, and then eventually I think he's just sort of you know by the end he really has no hope as far as the department goes. There was a version of the story where he was demoted from detective back to like a uniformed policeman, and I think he just felt like, fuck this, this is just impossible. Excuse my
No,
sorry.
that's okay.
And But I think the idea is that against his better judgment, he still gives her this crucial piece of evidence at the end of the film that helps her pursue the final leg of the case. And so the idea is that it's a kind of great dramatic device of somebody who is claiming to like not want to have anything to do with it but can't resist uh you know helping anyway. But yeah, there's something about him that it's kind of a sad end to his story. I mean, he's kind of sold out. He's working on a film set as an advisor, and the idea is that he's kind of given up his career as a detective in the department and is just sort of trying to kind of cash in somehow, and she calls him out on that in that scene.
I think Jack McLean is part of the system. We're talking about the early 60s. Um, Women are just, uh, making their feelings known, their thoughts known about the workplace, about getting ahead. It was very, very difficult. I was given through a close friend, Eileen McNamara, who is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist who wrote for the Boston Globe, whose education was at Columbia School of Journalism. She led me to some wonderful, wonderful books that my character was interested in about the office politics of the newsroom and how grindingly hard that business was. This is before the computers and so on and so forth. A lot of leg work, a lot of knocking on doors. And for a woman, it was just that much harder. It was just that much harder. The newsroom alone, they weren't given respect. They so had to prove themselves over and over again. So